G'day, Will Orders.
How you going, Ross Allen?
We're here at Nameless Performance in Lacena, Washington. We're going to give you a bit of a rundown on how our Oregon Trial Rally was and some of the ups and some of the downs of the rally, and after that we'll give you we'll introduce you to the guys at Nameless Performance and tell you a little bit more about what they do. It was pretty good, pretty uneventful. We obviously picked the cars up in LA and then travelled up to Oregon for the rally. It was pretty uneventful, really, because we could only do 50 mile an hour, 55 mile an hour in California. So until we got to the
border of what? California and Oregon.
Yeah. And then it's 70 mile an hour from there. So it was a reasonably slow trip. Took us probably longer than we wanted to, but it was pretty uneventful. The view coming to Oregon is probably one of the best things we've seen. It was really nice.
And halfway through it, we went over Mount Summit.
Yeah, Mount Summit, obviously.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Started snowing halfway across that. That was pretty picturesque.
Yeah, it was real nice. There was lots of tall pine trees and just through the mountains, and really absolutely gorgeous to look at.
So once again, we come across those, as we said in the first video, those fast truck drivers.
Yeah,
they definitely
out of control truck drivers. So
they don't know how to slow down through the hills. They actually go faster.
It was but other than that, it was pretty uneventful. One night stop there, and then we're in Oregon. It was very eventful, actually. Their press stage is very similar to our media day and guest ride day in Australia. It was very eventful. I only got to do one run. The track was 3 miles, and then I ran into car problems with some fuel regulator problems. And
I went out and I got a hole of 6 miles, so I had a bit of an issue with melted a bit of wiring loom. So that was the end of my press stages.
Yeah, so in total that means we've done between us 9 miles of testing before the start of the rally on Friday. So it was eventful, and that was actually when we first met and got introduced to the guys from Nameless Performance, and from there on in it's just been we couldn't have done what we'd achieved without the guys. They offered us a workshop for the Thursday night after the press stage and said, we've got everything you need to fix the cars, and turned it from an all-night job into a couple of hours, and we had a beer. So
they come up here and they put on a full meal for us and beers, and
it was absolutely amazing. So I couldn't have done it without the guys, and yeah, we were then set for Friday. Yeah, day one around PIR, Paul International Raceway, was a bit of a mixed day. We'd had a bit of a disastrous Thursday, first drive of the cars, so we didn't really know what to expect. The cars were fixed and ready to roar, and it was actually quite a bit of competitive distance in the rally. It was about 10 miles in total of tarmac, gravel, grass, muddy, shitty track, and we weren't actually allowed to recce it before the Friday. So Friday morning was the first time we'd actually seen the courses. We did some recce.
I jumped in the back seat with Will.
So backseat passenger, not very good at it, but that was all right. So we did the recce. We sort of went out there not knowing what to expect. With the two-wheel drive competition, sort of unknown. We knew the guys were really fast here, but we went into those stages just hoping for the best and making sure that the cars got through so we could get to the forest where we know our cars will be good.
I had a bit of a problem on stage one with the space between the seat and the steering wheel, just getting used to a brand new car. So
yeah, it was very much the same for me as well, but obviously I'd driven the car quite a bit earlier or later last year and knew what to expect, but we both did reasonably well. I come out the night with a 20-second lead in two-wheel drive.
I think I was in third place, two-wheel drive.
Third place, so first and third. So we did much better than expected. We're absolutely wrapped. Hillary was over the moon, and then it was on to Saturday. After Friday night, here the rules are a fair bit different. There's no part from A at the end of the rally, and there's no servicing restrictions. So
we pretty much serviced
all night.
Yeah, late in the night.
We finished servicing the cars at about midnight in Portland, and then the rally moved out to the Dow's, which is about an hour and a half away. So by the time we packed up and left Portland International Raceway. It was about 12:30 at night. We got to the Dow's about 2 o'clock in the morning, and then
the rest of the service crew got there about 3 with a bit of a
flat
tyre incident.
Flat tyre on the car, and complicated story. But anyway, we all got there. We had probably 2 or 3 hours sleep, and we were back up for the day. Saturday probably couldn't have gone too much worse for us. It was pretty disastrous. First stage was not too bad. We're both just getting our bearings, doing a not a bad job. Stage 2 pretty much struck us with disaster. My car pretty much broke everything in the rear end of the car. Bent shock absorbers, broken control arms, all sorts of stuff, and really put a hamper on how I was going. That's for sure.
And I went out there, bent both front rose joints, moved them off the mounts, snapped the bolts holding on the sump guard, and may have got followed into the service by the highway patrol.
Bit of an escort for us.
Bit of an escort from behind, but got into service without them having time to pull me over. So
yeah, and then it was on from there, because with only 5 people in the whole service team, really, it was myself, Ross, Steph lent a hand as much as she could. Hayden had his work cut out for him. And obviously John from Nameless Performance, he was, walked in right at critical time, which was couldn't have asked for much more than that.
Bad timing for him, good timing for us.
Yeah, good timing for us. So it was, the pressure was on. Luckily enough, the servicing times here are pretty good. 40-minute service. We pretty much just got stuck right into it. Replaced all the rear control arms on my car. Did what we could with the rear damper. Roscoe got stuck into your car.
Yeah, did a front end, pretty much a front end full change.
Rebuild on Ross's front end.
And ended up only leaving service 6 minutes late, so it's 10 seconds a minute. So left serve at a minute down, so can't really complain with that. With the lack of people we had and just the experience of the service crew that we had, it was awesome. Couldn't have asked anything better.
Absolutely unbelievable. So we were amazed that we were even leaving the service. When we got to the service, we didn't think we'd be going back out the stages. So to leave, I left service with 2 or 3 minutes up the sleeve, so it wasn't that big a deal in the end, but Roscoe lost a bit of time. Then it was pretty much pressure on. I'd lost 40 or 50 seconds in that stage, and it was sort of second or third in 2-wheel drive, so we'd lost the lead and some. So
the only downfall from leaving service was we had to go back out and do the first 2 stages again.
Exactly. So the first stage was good, but then we had to do the really rough stage, which had already had 65 cars over it. So it definitely wasn't going to get any better.
You saw a lot of people. Once we did the second pass, there was over 25% of the field off on that second stage.
Yeah,
so
100%. It was a real car wreck. It was only 12 miles long, but I think it was probably the worst 12 miles I've ever experienced in rallying, and the attrition rate really showed that. But once we left the service, it was game on. We had to push 110%. I know I was driving the absolute wheels off my car, and we actually took, in stage 3, which we really needed to have a go on, we took a minute off the closest 2-wheel drive guy, and we were 3rd fastest on the stage. So the push worked, and the car was obviously going all right. So we were back on the pace and really having to get the A game going. That's for sure. And same with Roscoe. Yeah. Look, after day 2, it was pretty obvious that we'd made up a lot of time, and we were in a pretty good position to win 2-wheel drive. But we're also allured by a podium position, because we're only a minute 50 off 3rd outright for the event. So game on, maximum attack. We tried our absolute hardest, and just wasn't able to make any inroads. We obviously extended our 2-wheel drive lead to just over 2 minutes. And that's pretty much where it was a reasonably good day for us. Didn't have anything faultless day for me. Didn't really have anything go wrong, and we just pushed hard, 110% all day, and the car was really good, and the guys had done a really good job in making it as good as what we could with what we had, and you had a bit of a worse day, Roscoe.
Yeah, I started off with my problems from Saturday. I started off Sunday with a down 30 seconds. Went out, thought may as well go push 110%. Managed to pull back a bit of time, pull back some more time on the following stage. Then when it come into service, everything was looking good. Went back out of service, and then on the way to the second last stage, that's where we ran into problems.
Yeah.
Ended up stopping on the side of the road with an electrical gremlin, which we ended up finding out a few days later that we replaced it with a $20 part. So pretty much.
It was a really good day. Like Roscoe had made it up from fourth to almost second in two-wheel drive, which would have been a dream come true for the team with all the dramas we've gone through. To have two cars on the podium at our very first event
In a country that we
had never seen before. So it was, the whole thing was pretty good. I don't think we could have asked for much more. The team worked, for the first actual rally we did as a team. The teamwork was phenomenal. Everyone put in 110%. We really couldn't have asked for much more. Well, we could have asked for Ross to finish.
Yeah,
that was out of our hands. We couldn't have done much more than that.
And we've never walked away from a rally so physically stuffed.
We had to work our guts out.
I've worked that hard from club level back home.
Yeah, exactly, and it's been, it was much more rewarding to do it that way. We worked our guts out, 3 or 4 hours sleep in 3 days.
And just seeing the effort that the team put into it.
Exactly,
I would never ask for that much effort, and the hours they were pulling to get the cars back on the road every day. And
it was 2 or 3 o'clock every morning back to the room. So, we just couldn't have asked for much more. Everyone at Summit Rally Team did the best possible job you could ever ask for with 5 people.
And the main thing is we walked away with a heap new American friends after this. So.
Exactly right.